So far my time with the Samsung Galaxy Fold has been an enjoyable experience. My display has been working perfectly, the device hasn't done anything weird. I mean, it's not perfect, there are some software glitches, which is to be expected with the first generation device. Now, I'm not saying you should buy this phone, this is very expensive, but based on my use case, on using this over the last few days, there's a bunch of stuff that really benefits the user that I can see really being attractive when Gen 2 or Gen 3 comes along, prices drop, and the product itself has been refined. The first thing is the content consumption experience. As you know, right now the Fold comes with two separate displays. Inside, you have an aspect ratio of 4:3 and a 7.3-inch display, but as soon as you close it, you have a smaller 4.6-inch display that has an aspect ratio of 21:9. This is actually really amazing because think about it. You're someone who wants to watch content, the 21:9 aspect ratio just makes a lot more sense. Movies are being filmed in 21:9. So for example, if I'm watching Netflix on the bigger 7-inch display, this is what it looks like. You got black bars on the top, black bars on the bottom, and it really takes away or doesn't utilize the entire screen real estate. Sure, you can zoom in, but things get cropped out and it doesn't make it the same enjoyable experience. Now, when you close the phone and you watch the movie on the smaller 4.6-inch display, there's no black bars. You are utilizing the entire screen. Now, obviously at this point, most people are still gonna watch it on the bigger display because yes, it's a bigger display. But imagine with Gen 2 or Gen 3, if they can make it a little bit wider, utilize the extra space by getting rid of the bezels, you'd be watching content on the front screen 90% of the time. And when you have to dip back in to do some work, you'd simply just open it up and utilize that 4:3 aspect ratio. The next big thing is reading books. I usually use an e-reader to read just because I can store everything on there and it's fairly light. But the problem is I tend to forget it a lot. And when I forget it, I'm forced to use the smartphone. And the problem with the smartphone is that if you're reading a book for 30 or 40 minutes, it's very tedious on the eyes. The narrow display just doesn't let the eyes feel great about itself. The beauty about the Galaxy Fold is I don't have to worry about forgetting my e-reader because the aspect ratio is essentially the same as the e-reader. I got all three devices lined up right here, and as you can see, the horizontal text is the exact same on both of these devices, whereas on the Galaxy S10, some of that text is cut off and you're forced to go to the next line. Also, because I have a bigger display, which is actually the same form factor as the Kobo, I get more vertical space to read. This is absolutely awesome. I can essentially get rid of the e-reader, never have to worry about carrying it again, and still be able to read books comfortably on the Galaxy Fold. The next big thing is productivity, and let's face it, sometimes you need to pull out a laptop because you gotta utilize the bigger screen real estate. Don't get me wrong, even if you have a Galaxy Fold, you're sometimes still gonna have to do that because there's some things this thing just can't do. But I find myself pulling out my laptop a little bit less because of this aspect ratio. 4:3 is so much better to work on than 16:9 or 18:9. This looks like and feels like more like a piece of paper. For example, I have Microsoft Word here. I got a Bluetooth keyboard connected. I can go ahead and start typing a document. The quick brown fox hates his squirrel neighbor because he stole his nuts. Someone find the fox's nuts and bring it back before the squirrel eats them. I mean, it just makes a lot more sense. I'm okay, I could actually type notes on this, whereas if I was to like put a smartphone here, I'd feel so claustrophobic. So next up, we obviously have gaming. I mean, like having a bigger screen makes a lot more sense to game on. The bigger the screen, usually the better, especially when you're talking about small devices like this. Now, this doesn't benefit for every single game. Like if you're just playing like Pac-Man, the bigger screen's not gonna make that big of a difference. But when you're playing games like Fortnite or PUBG, having that bigger screen makes a huge difference. I have more of a wider field of view. I can see my surroundings better. I can not squint as much instead of like playing on a smartphone where I find I'm like really squinting to see what's going on, or just maybe I'm getting old. Where are you? Oh, there you are. I see somebody. I see somebody. Come here, buddy. Ah! No! go, there you are. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this game. And finally, the camera. This thing has the exact same camera setup as the Galaxy S10 Plus, with an additional front-facing camera when the phone is closed. Now, I know we used to make fun of people taking pictures with their tablet. They looked ridiculous, and the camera inside of those tablets were usually significantly worse than the best smartphones out on the market. Well, now we don't have to make fun of them anymore, because the Galaxy Fold, or most foldable phones that do come out on the market, are gonna be sharing the exact same cameras with their smartphone counterparts. Having a viewfinder this big is so nice. Like, you can see everything perfectly. Just imagine using Pro Mode and being able to adjust shutter and ISO with clarity. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be taking pictures on this than with a regular smartphone. Now, see, these are some of the things that I discovered about foldable phones. Like I said, the Galaxy Fold is not perfect, but some of these things I talked about are gonna replace the need to carry an extra device. Now, some of this stuff is just minor, and some of this stuff is absolutely amazing. And I think we are just touching upon the benefits that foldable phones truly bring. Anyways, that wraps up some of the amazing features you can do with the Galaxy Fold. I hope you guys liked this video. I got a lot more content around this device coming out in the near future. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.